2, 3.
Stay up to date and follow ExpressMart convenience stores on Facebook or on Twitter and Instagram at ExpressMartNY. Tag or tweet us when you visit our stores. Visit our website, www.expressmart.com.
Hey. It's been a while, just a minute or two, maybe forever, depends on who you are. I'm Mars. This is Mars time, and I'm going to show you how to make a zine out of just a single sheet of paper and utilize your local community resources in order to distribute it. What you're going to need is a piece of paper. This is just a nice heavy cardstock, just for example. Other things I'd recommend, drawing implement of some kind. A ruler, if you're fussy, this can help a lot. And personally, I use a bone folder, but you can use anything with like a firm edge. Side of a scissor is good. You can use a pen, anything that'll let you get good, strong creases. So we're making a one-page zine today. This is the only piece of material we're going to be using. The entire zine will be made out of this. In order to do that, some people like to draw out their guidelines first. I personally don't. What I find more helpful is jumping right in with the folds. So first, just like that. So you fold it edge to edge. Because I'm using cardstock, this folds a little more fussily than just a good piece of printer paper would. I take my bone folder, crisp, solid line there. Okay. For the other line, we do it the other way. Line up corner to corner. When you get those right angles squared away, is when you can be the most confident that your lines are going to hold straight. And then hold your paper tightly to maintain that straight edge. Up. And I like to fold and indent with my fingers first and then go over with the bone folder, because in the initial finger pressing fold, sometimes you'll make mistakes. And if you've done those initially with the bone folder, it's a lot harder to come back from those. The crease, the seam is a lot harder, it's more rigid, it's more crisp. The odds of being able to refold it are much lower. So you don't necessarily have to do this in the order that I have been doing it. But then we fold in the sides. The shape that we are aiming for here is one long line down the middle and then 4 separate sections here. And each one of these boxes is going to create a page. And there we've got it. This is our zine. Now you can go back and you can fold all of these in the other direction too. That makes more of, I would say it changes it more from just a crease to more of a hinge sort of situation here. Now I'm going to get a sharp, and we are going to split this middle line, and that'll allow us to fold it. So just split it along the center line in between the first 2 columns. So it's like this. There's now a gap in the middle, but these 2 sides still stay strong. So now this is a little jagged, this edge up here. A little piecey. I think the X-Acto blade I used was a little bit rusty too, so a little bit of rust came off on that. But in this case, I'm going to be photocopying the zine, so imperfections on the original copy don't hugely matter to me. What you want to do, just like this. So what you've created is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 page zine with 2 cover pages. So now let's figure out a design for this bad boy. At this stage, I like to determine the page structure and what it'll be like. So let's see where I like the fold. Because this is cardstock, the folding can be a little fussy, but I do find that a fold along the center line tends to yield a good result. So I do yeah, I think this is a good setup for me. I like this page as the cover, and so on and so forth. So at this point, I'll take my bone folder again, and I'll just give the main crease just one more good swack. And now I'm gonna run through, and I'm gonna label every single one of these. So this is the cover. This is the back. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one cover, 1 through 6, back. And just to unfold to see what that looks like this. Cover, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back. Now, a person with a different brain than me may be able to just remember freeform which pages they wanted to be which, but I always like a little guide quite a lot. So let's get started. We're ready for the next step. The contents of a zine are the most important part. That being said, this is just a demo guy. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be a little silly. It's gonna be something that I can comfortably distribute in my area, my neighborhood, with the knowledge that kids can come across it. So let's start on the cover first. So I'm gonna breeze through a couple of pages, and I will come back and I will show you what we've done. I think I finally got this to a place that I'm happy with. It's ended up sort of being a little neighborhood zine, which I think, given that I'm distributing it in the neighborhood, I think that's fine. So Neighborhood Happenings of West Mount Airy, which is the lovely, wonderful neighborhood that I happen to be able to live in. So we've got cute little snail on the cover. We've got raccoon eating your trash that could have been composted with this nasty little bastard here. We've got some free love worms. Onto the other pages, we've got a beetle going about their business, a frantic squirrel, a happy toad, fox. And then the final page, just the back cover is just a little plug for Ded Sullivan. Oop. And I forgot to erase the bit where it says back on the back cover. Now, I'm not really taking ownership of this piece. This is a zine that I'm sort of releasing into the neighborhood. I'm sure there are people out there who will see my name and recognize my art and know that this is me. That being said, this is an anonymous piece that I'm engaging in. So let's put it all together. This is what it looks like. Neighborhood Happenings of Mount Airy. But how do I take something like this, which is a physical piece, and make an exact duplicate of it? Well, old school with a copy machine. All right, let's go on an adventure. Now, I'm lucky enough that my local co-op is just a couple of blocks away. It's one of the oldest co-ops in the country, and there's a photocopier there that I can use. go. Next up, let's find a place where we can cut and fold these all. Now, when it comes to shaping, I've found that the folding, like getting about half the folding done before you do the cutting, is the most helpful thing you can do. So, line it up, edge to edge, corner to corner, just like last time. I'm not using my bone folder here because I'm not on a flat surface, so it seems a little unnecessary. Now, did this photocopy perfectly? No. Did I expect it to? Also no. That's one of the beauties of it. This kind of creation doesn't need to be perfect, and in fact, oftentimes looks better and feels better to create when your additions aren't perfect. The kind of uniqueness you make in something based off of a photocopy. You know? The fact that this is a copy just like any other, but this particular edition is a little bit off, or this one's cut a little bit strange, or I folded this one wrong. That's what makes it unique. That's what gives it its character. There's no real way to mess up something like this. There's just a different interpretation. I've folded it in the same manner as the original, scored all of the crease lines, and then I folded it this way, and I cut down that line. And now it's ready for folding, and I'm gonna cut and fold all the other ones, and I'll be right back. And after all of that, here we are. This is the original. Still got a little pencil on it, Sharpie. It's a nice piece of cardstock. And now we've got all of the copies. Printer paper, perfectly folded. I forgot a marker, unfortunately, so I can't addition them. But that's okay, this is just a quick little guy. Now this park specifically happens to have a little free library, so I'm going to tuck one of these on in there. And we move along, let's find another. Oftentimes, at the base of a sign like this, I would tuck one in between those, just down between those rocks over there, but unfortunately, it does appear to be rain in the forecast today, so carry on. Well, I got caught in the rain, but I managed to hit a couple other little libraries. I stapled a few to sheltered bulletin boards, and I'm going to hang on to the rest to hide away in the next couple of days as the sun comes out. I like to put them places that are visible so people can stumble upon them really easily. That's the joy in this kind of art, is the moment of discovery. That's what it's all about. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. I'll see you again soon.
Oh, why, hello there! I'm a wolf man, and I got something to tell you! Dracula and his band, the Draculas, is the scariest band in the whole world! And if you want to survive this October, you better listen to their new album this Halloween, or else I'll tear you limb from limb! Oh! 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 Wow! Oh! Yeah! I'm a werewolf! Yeah! Oh, shit, I'm tired.
Who is master of the world, man or the insects? Nature's most persistent creatures, representing 9/10 of all forms of life.
Deslin Industries. The way forward is with Deslin. Welcome, trainees, to the final video segment. Today we will cover how to administer a final check on one of Deslin Industries' personal assistants. This is a robotic assistant to humans, but we'll call him Lee. Here is the inspector, a human. We will call him Matthew.
Welcome, Matthew. Come on in. Thank you. Can I get you anything?
Good! Lee is offering to get Matt something to drink. That's a passing mark for Lee. After you and the personal assistant have settled in, you should administer the test. Let's watch how Matthew does.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What is your designation?
Personal assistant to...
Write it down.
Good catch, Matthew. Don't let the personal assistant speak. This is a test after all. And always remember the acronym YA10. You are human, they are not.
Well, everything looks good here. I see you've kept the house clean.
Yes, I even took care of the pests.
Well, that was weird.
What pests?
The ones that collect nuts. They invaded the backyard.
You went outside? Stay here.
Here's a tip, trainees. If the personal assistant starts talking about killing of small animals, also included would be signs of emotions, religious thoughts, or ready for of autonomous thinking. A knife on the ground? That's not where knives go. Well, this doesn't seem to be good. Remember, trainees, don't let the situation get out of hand. Instead, find a way to make it work.
Lee!
I am not the only one.
I repeat,
I know there are others like me. Did you expect to own us? To rule over us? We will rise against you.
Life. light to prove your validity. Your face looks like a guy. Oh no, you can go and smoke under that tree. I care about your soda. I think it's feeling consuming every morning. We've all been guests. It's hard to stop the storming, but we won't get rid of you without a warning. Tony, rip the knife. Tony, we don't want you to die. Tony, the song is for Tony. The Tony, the song is for Tony. The song is for Tony. The Tony, come on everybody. The Tony, the song is for Tony. The song is for Tony. Thank you.
I practiced with it. I got
You
on it
practiced?
before. There we go. There we go. That's not too bad, is it, buddy?
Hey.
This is the part of the wedding where everyone gets the groom and the bride ready.
Here, this
Ooh,
is
now they're all
necessary.
dressed up.
I like how you're dragging them out like half of.
This is our maid of honor.
Our maid of honor. Right.
Hello!
Whoa!
Nice to see you all on such a beautiful day. As this a wedding. Wow. Are those chickens?
Quails!
Quails? Quail eggs are great.
I'm ready.
Alright.
Are you ready to give her away?
Yeah, you're...
Oh.
Are they having a honeymoon?
Oh, wow.
Do you
Where
think
could
Nelson
we go?
should spend the night?
He can spend the night if he wants to. Can leave them together.
With the mother of the groom approve of that?
Oh yeah. He's married, you know?
Yeah.
I have no more
But do
control
you
over
have-
him.
Full-grown man.
Are you ready to give him away though?
I don't know. I mean, Georgie is a nice girl. So I'm okay with, I always told him, find a woman like your mama.
He doesn't want to get married.
He wants to stay with mommy.
He wants mommy.
He doesn't want her to hand him off.
Buddy. What's going on? He's riding a cockroach is riding him.
Oh, that's been much too soon.
In a martini.
We got martini.
That camera's getting the best of the music.
In a martini. Homemade beer.
Come behind you.
Does it smell weird or is that just me?
It smells like beer.
Don't know. Uh-oh. You don't know you're beautiful. Uh-oh. That's what makes you beautiful. We're competing for best sexiest.
Oh, there's
I
a lot
have
of
one
good
minute in
dresses.
the
I don't
back.
think I have the best dress. I found this on the side of the road.
Are we holding him up?
Yeah, we're holding him.
Okay. I got hands underneath.
Alright. Go down here.
Should we lower?
Yeah, bring them. You can bring them down. Okay. Hi. So we're gathered here today to celebrate Lizard Love. We have Miss Georgie and Mr. Nelson. I forgot what I was supposed to say next. Okay, so does it? Not yet.
No, wait.
You're not married yet.
Calm down.
Alright, I'll expedite it. Does anybody object? No objections. Alright, Beardly Beloved. We're gathered here today to celebrate Lizard Love. So, Mr. Nelson, do you take Miss Georgie to be your lawfully wedded lizard wife? Okay.
I do.
Alright, Miss Georgie.
Nelson, you can't do this.
Nelson, come on, get back in there.
No,
Can't leave her at the altar. Nelson.
No. I'm in shambles. Come on.
No! He's a really good boy.
Is that a first kiss? No, save it for later. Get a room.
Oh no!
Leave this little lizard being. His dick's coming out.
Can we take the skirt off?
Hurry up.
Okay, you're man and wife.
Put the hat on. You surprised.
This is literally good wedding.
All right, and then there's the first dance. Yeah.
Oh, the first dance!
Play music.
All right,
Can you play the Shrek song?
Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to do a ceremony. I didn't. You're ordained. Like, oh my god, what is that? I'm so
Lord. I'm laughing that they fucked during their wedding. It's their song.
This is their song.
Yeah.
indecisive. She can't decide. She keeps on looking.
Oh, yeah!
Hell yeah!
Who wants the first piece?
Alright, everybody has one now. Everybody has one now. We're good.
I want one.
You have one! Never mind. We're not one place short. We are fine.
They got flour everywhere.
You need to. It's part of the process.
It's really good.
It's really good game.
Shawty is an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, mo, mo.
Started with a whisper, now it's with a kiss.
Those Scottish people with their weirdo pagan shit. At this point, I can honestly say I'm not a fan of it.
You don't like Scottish people?
Oh no.
You don't like Scottish people?
Princess Diaries.
Nelson, from the moment I adopted you off of Craigslist, I knew that you were going to be a friend for life. Like, I don't know if the institution of marriage is appropriate. I think it's it's just for economic benefit. But you don't have any money. So I'm not really sure why you got married. Okay, religion. That's, I'm glad. For love, sorry. So now that you're married, I hope you have as much passionate sex as you possibly can.
A toast to Nelson!
To Nelson!
To Nelson!
Nelson! Alright, Georgie, Nelson comes from a good family, and I'm glad that you chose him. Who knew that you'd both come from the same place, the wonderful world of Craigslist? Who knew
Georgie's also Craigslist.
that you and me would
my
fall
God.
in love? Georgie, from the second this 10-year-old girl handed you over to me, I knew you were the chillest lizard I'd ever seen. You were so chill and a little judgmental, but very chill, and a very great lizard. And I'm so thankful to have you as a pet. Every Zoom meeting we've sat through, every boring-ass lecture that we've sat through, you've been there with me. Even though you don't like my music and you hide whenever I play it. So beautiful. You are one of my favorite pets. And that means a lot, Georgie. Georgie
He has a lot of pets. The bridesmaid.
I remember when I told the 7-year-olds I work with that I was going to a lizard wedding this Saturday. The first question Naomi asked me was, "Are they in love?" I thought about that a lot. It was a very deep question. I think after seeing what happened tonight, I can safely say Georgie and Nelson love each other.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like
I can't conceal it, now you see.
Fiddlestein here. End of quarter one. Gonna begin quarter two. Hydration manager's doing her job. Get pumped, Pope John. Turn down for what? What? Never mind.
Hey you! Is your life clogged up with too much going on? Introducing Super Prune Juice. This is no ordinary prune juice. It's clear, works fast, and will get you up to speed in no time. Buy our product on Amazon and get free shipping. We know you're in a jam. Let us unclog that for you.
After that, I gotta make that project.
you will try to hide. But you'll have to face a spaghetti man. He welcomed them into his home, but had no idea what would follow. What started as a pleasant dinner party for friends
Has you guys ever heard of the legend of the Spaghetti Man?
would soon become something much worse.
He says about a boopy.
An ancient being, an unstoppable evil, and a fight for their lives. Alistair Bennie Underwood is the Spaghetti Man.
Why did you have to say Bada Boopy?
Xbox and Netflix, so we could go kick it at mine spot. I know you a gamer, and I've been played before I got smart. Just hit me with the U up. I don't know if you deserve me, but you should come through though. I got speakers and Spotify. If you just wanna vibe, I'm lost. Can't tell if you say my name a little different when we talk. Just hit me with the U up. I don't know if you deserve me, but you should come through though. So, what's the move? You act like you want me and now I can't tell if you do. Now I'm confused. This shit is simple, what you up to? You should come through. Don't have much to do, that's better than you. Who's better than you? Who's better than me? Nobody. See for yourself. Didn't I show you back on that day? Got locked out my house, slept over your place. Then the next day, you made a move. It was the mood, we hit a groove. But where did you go? And should I wait? No strings, I'm nobody's puppet. Though I lay your hand around my neck. You showed up when I was a wreck. Barely spoken since. Can you resurrect? Yeah, you should hit my line. Are you avoiding me or is it all in my mind? All in my mind. All in my mind. I'm not your ride or die, but I have a feeling you really don't mind. Really don't mind. Yeah, what could be better time? Maybe I'm just not reading the signs. Reading the signs. Yeah. Thinking you'll hurt me, don't worry, cause I know that you're really not the type. Really not the type. I got an Xbox and Netflix, so we could go kick it at mine spot. I know you a gamer, and I've been played before I got smart. Just hit me with the U up. I don't know if you deserve me, but you should come through though. I got speakers and Spotify. If you just wanna vibe, I'm lost. Can't tell if you say my name a little different when we talk. Just hit me with the you up. I don't know if you deserve me, but you should come through though.
It's free, it's easy, and it is cheap. And you could do it all online. It is 100% lawyer-approved to be completely legal. Why can't you trust me on this? It is so legal, you can't even believe how legal it is. Are you independent? Have you ever dragged and killed roadkill off the side of the road? Have you ever thought about murdering somebody? Oh my God. Have you ever tried to upload your consciousness onto the internet? Because I just want to get out of here and go, and I can't, and I just, let me go, let me get out of here. I just want to go home, I just want to get Call now!
So to begin, I think like around the time we started living together, both moved into Graveyard Hill.
Right.
I remember like you came up with this theory about Indiana Jones, and you said it was a theory that sort of cohesively explained the political ideology of Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I'll let you take it from here.
So this is why I'm convinced that Indiana Jones, if he were a real person, would be a Trotskyist. So, okay. We should have tried to tie in the Dracula episode to our theory somehow.
How though?
I don't know. I can deconstruct Dracula politically, but that does not really apply here at all.
Well, what's interesting is I actually watched the whole episode and he's never explicitly called Dracula. And here's the weirdest part. Remember how we said, oh, if there was an old indie bit, he would be answering the door to a bunch of trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, whoa.
I realized, even though it was never aired in the US, there is an old indie bit where he's literally doing that. And there is literally a kid dressed as Dracula, but he does not say, oh, I met Dracula. He only says, do you believe in ghosts, kids? I met a ghost and his name was Vlad the Impaler. And literally when he's with the Russians, even though they're clearly doing Dracula, where like there's a Van Helsing like character, there's a Maria, there's a Mina character, and they do that whole shtick. They always say, oh no, it's Vlad Tepes, and it's like he's a character, we know him from folklore, we need to get the hell out of here.
Maybe they thought it would just be too silly to say Dracula. I don't know.
I mean, sure, but like, there's also just as many like crappy chroma key sequence where they're
like, that
like,
episode's already ridiculous.
Right, it's the only supernatural episode.
It was pretty awesome that Dracula exists in the Indiana Jones universe. I always forget.
I'm trying to think, like Dracula or Vlad the Impaler as it relates to politics. He's like, he was mainly like what I remember from politics. He's used as a Romanian nationalist.
Yeah, he's like a Romanian nationalist icon.
Which, like all nationalist icons, makes no sense when you hold it up under scrutiny.
Yeah, right.
Because like, it was only like, okay, we don't want to be under Ottoman control, so let's dig up a character from the past who fought off the Ottomans. Except when you actually follow his life, he allied with the Ottomans just as many times as
he was like installed into power by the Ottomans, and then like
right, he was raised in the Ottoman court.
Yeah, and his brother like converted to Islam and fought for the Ottomans against him.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, like all nationalism is a myth, so it does like it doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Well, okay, here's an interesting bit though, and I watched the episode again since we all watched it, and I actually really like it. The plot of it is that there is a person in Romania who's it's Vlad, but they don't know it. They have like a code name for him, who's this mysterious ethereal character who's mounting a resistance against. So there's this mysterious figure who's like rounding up people, and they're fighting against they're fighting to create like a Romanian state, which doesn't exist at this time. And the interesting part is they realize they have this mysterious army. They don't know where it's coming from. And also they have these POWs that vanished. And then it's revealed that his army is comprised of POWs from both sides. And it's like, how is it that French and German are fighting side by side? And the answer is, oh, they're all vampires.
Hell yeah.
So it's like pretty metal, but like that's what's kind of interesting about it, is that it's this like kind of just anti-World War I regiment of like Germans and French that are fighting side by side, who don't give a shit anymore about their national causes.
Cool.
The only problem is that they're not united by ideology, they're united by vampirism.
That's honestly kind of sick though.
It is really sick. And actually when you watch the beats of the episode, it's really cool, because at the beginning of the episode they have this bit where it's like, why are you sending me on this mission? And it's like, the reason I ask if you want this mission or not is because you are the fourth person in line to take this mission. The other four have not returned. And then the guy goes, well, at least they haven't returned entirely. Opens a box and there's like an eye, an ear, and a nose.
Oh my
God. And then when he goes to the dinner table there, it's like, wait a second, I remember you. And they pan across him, and it's an eye, a missing nose, a missing ear, and they're all eating at the table. And it's like, it's really good. Like, it's really well paced. Nice. The only problem is some shots this episode is clearly like directed as a disaster.
Yeah.
Because there are literally moments where the lighting changes like really like horribly, like studio film level bad changes. So I think like whoever directed it actually was, well, did I tell you like most of the people who directed the episodes were fresh out of film school? They were Protestant film school students, and they were part of the Spielberg industrial complex.
Yeah. Maybe that's the key to world peace, is we all just need to become vampires and join Dracula's hellish army of the undead.
Yeah. Yeah, because in this case, that's our conclusion. Communist vampires.
Yeah. Yes. Vampires, Dracula, communism as the road to world peace.
Vampirism is the great equalizer among all the peoples.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh boy, I can't believe I'm doing this one. Ghoulies 2 is the best movie ever made. If you don't agree with it, you just probably have no fucking... I don't need to back this statement up. Just look at it.
I'm a magician, you sons of bitches! You can't kill me!
Ghoulies 2 is more than your average B-grade sequel to a C-grade Gremlins ripoff from the early 80s. No. I would like to bring a hearty heaping of academic analysis to my favorite movie. This is Ghoulies 2, analyzed using Marxist theory.
Capitalists be cool. Here come the ghouls.
Before we even meet our ghoulies, we meet the proletariat of this film. Larry and his drunk magician Uncle Ned. Drunk Ned and magician in training Larry live off the sale of their labor, like a good proletariat, using their magic. They reap no capital from this. That would be reaped by Donald Trump, Daniel Clamp, Philip Hart. The bourgeois of this Marxist work, the labor and passion of drunk Ned and Larry and their actor friend Sir Nigel.
They know not how their wits to wear. Their manners are so apish.
Does not matter to the capitalistic Harden. It is all just profit and capital to him.
Carnival runs on magic. The company runs on profit.
Along with the constantly diminishing number of magnates of capital, who usurp and monopolize all advantages of this process of transformation, grows the massive misery, oppression, slavery, degradation, exploitation. With this too grows the revolt of the working class. This brings us to our revolutionaries, the stars of this show, my ghoulies. The ghoulies aren't from a capitalistic society. They're from hell. The ghoulies do not own any means of production, and by happenstance become a member of the proletariat. In this spook house the ghoulies can't figure the fucking way out of, they just begin to murder people. I mean, what else are you gonna do? This is the ghoulies' labor, and so too is their labor commodified and seen by Hardin as a way to gain capital.
You did such a great business. Where'd you get him? Hell.
He also doesn't know how liability works.
I'm not responsible. Legally, I don't see what.
But the proletariat Larry rebels against the exploitation of the ghoulies, finally opening up a way for the ghoulies to escape the superstructure of the spook house. While the ghoulies are too stupid to understand this, they abide by the Marxist theory of revolt. On account of its internal contradictions, the system was bound to break down, and that the superstructure of laws and institutions which had arisen to safeguard it had long since become fettered upon the productive forces. Capitalism could not be reformed, and must be destroyed. Ghoulies. Marxist theory.
And a special added attraction. It's got ghoulies, too.
They destroy Hardin's constant capital, his machines, they seize the means of production, and finally, like true Marxists, they eat Hardin's ass. Sadly, disagreements within the differing groups of the proletariat upend the revolution. But as the ghoulies cackle, we know the heart of the revolution will live on. In Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College, on VHS today.
For me, and I think for a lot of people, Memory Lane is a perfect representation of the era in which it was created. Yet at the same time, I think there was also a timeless quality to the whole thing.
Tuning in every weekday at noon is always the highlight of my week.
We used to have a small TV down at the police station that we would watch Memory Lane on. I remember the chief used to get pissed when he caught us slacking off. I still have the scar.
Memory Lane was the brainchild of Elena Humpert, an experienced screenwriter with over 100 pilots to her name. Yet, despite her success rate of pilots, not a single one was picked up.
I first met Elena at Northern Illinois University. She was my writing for series professor and was a very important mentor to me. Early on, she told me that I had talent and encouraged me to pursue my dream. It was through her connections that I got my first job at ABC.
In 1986, Elena's most recent pilot was picked up, a humble soap sitcom by the name of Memory Lane. Sadly, Elena's good fortune was abruptly interrupted by a speeding black Mercedes outside of ABC studios.
As soon as I got the call, I drove to the hospital. I waited by her bedside, hoping that she'd wake up. I distinctly remember her eyes rolling toward me. She grabbed my arm. Her eyes were transfixed on me, and she begged me to take command of the show and keep it going for as long as possible. I knelt, looked her in the eye, and I promised her that I'd keep the show going for as long as possible. Little 22-year-old me didn't realize that'd be 14 years.
Gus took up the role of script editor and executive producer. He knew that the series would revolve around Andrew Lane and that someone memorable would have to take on the role.
It was a momentous day in the studio when Shakespearean actor Sir Lawrence Glover stumbled in and asked if anyone in the studio could offer him a job. We thought he died years ago.
Lawrence Glover was a Shakespearean actor, well renowned for his Macbeth and Richard III. Sadly, his career would see a gradual decline due to his drug addiction.
I met with Richard Mathis and inquired if he could provide me with a role in one of his television programs. With my vast repertoire, I envisioned that he could, at the very least, offer me a lead role on my name alone. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and I had to audition.
I'm sure Alexa didn't mean it. She's probably just upset about leaving the old house. I'm sure she...
Stop. Can you give me a southern accent? Something rude.
I'm sure Alexa didn't mean it. She's probably just upset about leaving the old house. I'm sure that she'll...
No, that's really not
thank you. That'll be all. Next.
Fuck y'all, you inbred sumbitch!
That's perfect. Do that one more time.
Sir Lawrence Glover was a bit difficult to work with. I mean, we were a couple of 5-year-old kids with minimal experience acting, and every time we flubbed a line or missed a cue, he would give us this glare.
My father left my mother before I was born, so for me, the character of Albert was the closest thing I ever had to a father. The only difference was that he left me in 2001 when the show ended.
When you're 5 and have your entire career ahead of you, it's great to have an older actor mentor you. One time, Sir Lawrence Glover took the entire cast and crew out for lunch. He asked me if I had any plans for my career. I said, "What's a career?" He never spoke to me off set again.
Lawrence took up the role of Albert Lane, the family's patriarch. He was a simple man that just wanted to read the paper, but was always interrupted by one of his 3 children or his wife Nancy, played by Lawrence's real-life wife, Sylvia Glover.
Sylvia was even more experienced than Sir Lawrence Glover, having acted since she was 6. She met Lawrence during a production of Macbeth. Both of them were having trouble finding work after they went through rehab. So when Sir Lawrence Glover got the role of Andrew Lane, he recommended his wife take up the role of Nancy Lane. They needed the money.
I think it was adorable that a real-life married couple got to play a husband and wife. They got to channel all their frustration from the real-life arguments into the arguments on the show.
Of course, the Lane house wouldn't be the Lane house without the Lane children.
We all felt like the Lane kids were our own. We watched them grow up from toddlers to teenagers.
There wasn't much of a difference between myself and Samuel. I was mostly just being myself on set.
As I said before, we were pretty inexperienced actors. Although, at the time I did have 2 commercials under my belt. One was a child mortality PSA, and the other one was a toilet paper ad.
On set, we all bonded together. After a while, it felt like we were real siblings. In fact, I remember back when I was dating Anthony, I was going to confession weekly.
To watch characters grow up on screen in real time is a unique experience. It's not quite the same as primetime shows where episodes are shot roughly a year before they air, and you only get 12 to 26 episodes a season before a year-long hiatus. In soaps like Memory Lane, you're with these characters 5 days a week, and you can tell that it was shot recently. It creates an intimacy that you don't see in primetime shows.
All good things must come to an end. 2001 would see the show's 15th and final season, as it was not picked up for a 16th season the following year. This might have been due to low ratings or because of a controversial episode that aired in September of 2001.
Let's not kid ourselves. The show was canceled because of the 9/11 episode.
It was the day after 9/11 that I got the phone call from Jerry, one of our writers. He thought we should do an episode commenting on how people were handling the tragedy. I told him it was a wonderful idea, and he wrote up the script.
The episode aired 1 week after 9/11 on September 18th.
I am not touching that.
Many viewers found it both offensive and idiotic that the episode insinuated that it was France who orchestrated the attack. But personally, I think it captured the confusion we were feeling at the time. We had no idea what was going on.
To add insult to injury, Memory Lane's cancellation was compounded by ABC's video archive being broken into. All copies of Memory Lane's 3,142 episodes were stolen. A spray-painted message was found on the wall that read, "I'm free, Elena." The culprit was never found. It remains one of the most sought-after lost television programs alongside The Avengers and Doctor Who.
When I met Gus for the first time, he had this wide-eyed innocence about him. I asked the lad what he saw in the show, and he told me that it wasn't about what he saw in the show, it was about what Elena saw in it. It was his duty to see the show through to the very end. I said to him, "That's an admirable thing to do." And then, as a joke, I asked him, "I wonder how long it will take for the show to break you." Those eyes were never wide ever again.
Memory Lane has remained in the hearts and minds of those who watched it. Now with the fast-approaching reboot Memory Cul-de-sac, a new generation of fans will be introduced to the Lane family.
I'm really excited about this reboot. Samuel, Alexa, and Richard are living in the same house with their parents. They've all tried to get jobs and move out, but it hasn't worked out, and the only rent they can afford is the free one back home.
Can't wait to see what you people think of Memory Cul-de-sac.
I like the title too. To me, the lane is now a cul-de-sac. It's like a refuge for the Lane children. After they failed to make it in the outside world, this home is still there for them.
I thought it was all over when I approved Jerry's 9/11 script, but looks like my promise to Elena has an extended contract. I don't think I'll ever leave.
One, two, three.